Hey everyone, I'm Phoenix. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Dream Drop Distance HD. God, it's a mouthful. The game is an HD remake of the original Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS. Since the story of this game has been out for a really long time, I assume you can't really be spoiled at this point, but for those who stuck it out and waited for the HD remix, this is your spoiler warning. Now, let's get started. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Dream Drop Distance HD is a game within the release of Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. God, I hate the way they name these games. In September of 2015, Square Enix announced Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and slated it for a 2016 release. Early on, we were told that Dream Drop Distance HD would run at a beautifully smooth 60 FPS. For multiple reasons, the game didn't end up hitting its 2016 release date and was then released worldwide January 24th, 2017. Alright, so straight off the bat, I'm going to go into one of the biggest things about this game, and that is the story. Lots of people think that Kingdom Hearts has an extremely complicated storyline and plot, and they wouldn't be wrong. But most people formulate this idea sometime after Kingdom Hearts 1 or during Kingdom Hearts 2. And if you're one of those people, the story of this game, Okay, so Dream Drop Distance is the story of Sora and Riku taking an exam to become Keyblade Masters. And to do so, they have to travel into the realm of sleep, as if the realm of light, dark, and the realms between weren't enough. Unlock sleeping keyholes and make it back. Doing so will give them the power to return a sleeping heart back to normal. Pretty straightforward, tons of foreshadowing, but everything that can go wrong pretty much does go wrong. Things are okay in the first half of the story. We get some basic explanation as to why Sora and Riku are in different worlds from each other, but still visiting the same world. Oh man, no big deal. We meet our alleged villain, but as the story moves along, our villain, young Xehanort, ends up popping in constantly and gives us a little bit more info to the story. At first, things were normal Kingdom Hearts tier for convoluted nonsense, but as young Xehanort explains more things more often, this plot takes a turn from simply convoluted to straight up stupidly confusing. The plot barely ever seems to know where it's going or what it's doing. This is just my complaint on the story, as if we didn't know anything from other Kingdom Hearts titles, but if you take the information from other Kingdom Hearts games, it gets so worse. Once you take the information from other games and apply it to what they explain in this game, they basically take the important and interesting concepts that are used in the other games and they just outright shit all over them. They completely ruin the unique trait to nobodies by introducing the idea that everything can grow a heart.
You have to have a heart to cry.
It's about time you noticed.
As the game progresses on, things continue to get more confusing, with bosses that make zero sense or explanations that take more than one listen through to even remotely begin to understand. The issue I have with the bosses boils down to the fact that they barely explain why that boss exists, why it's there, and how it's even there. I know that young Xehanort summons them in, but most of the times, these Dream Eaters, the nightmares, they just kind of are, without really any good explanation. But if you look at other Kingdom Hearts games, all of the villains that you run into, all of the bosses of worlds, they all make some sort of sense. They all have some sort of reason to be there. This game is obviously a game about Riku. It's non-stop Riku character development, and that's great. Every turn of the story is about Riku better understanding himself and his place as a Keyblade wielder.
My journey begins here. And now, I'm going back to the real world. And then to Sora's side.
That is your answer?
Yes. I know the way. Consume the darkness. Return it to light.
You can try.
Sadly, they did this while still keeping in Sora, being a bumbling idiot for 99% of the game. I once said that Kingdom Hearts is practically people cleaning up Sora's messes, and I don't feel that that statement is very far from the truth. Sora is an absolute idiot in this game. He doesn't understand half the shit that's going on, but frankly, I don't blame him.
That's ridiculous.
It sure is. It's too perfect. Who'd ever believe it? Which is why you idiots never saw it coming.
There are rarely moments in this game that really made me want to cheer out for the protagonists, and that sucks because I want to feel for these characters, I really do. but when I almost have zero ground to relate with Sora on, it makes it really hard. Riku, on the other hand, has been given a lot of character development, and he's come a long way. Riku is nearly the only redeeming thing about this story, being that we get to watch more of Riku's struggles and how he overcomes them. Being able to enjoy a Kingdom Hearts title in 60 FPS was an amazing experience. I never personally encountered any crashes, but I've heard of a couple bugs being reported, but a small amount of people reported these, and I didn't encounter a single major bug within about 30 hours of playtime. This game played incredibly smooth, and even though it was a 3DS port over to PS4, everything looked really sharp and nothing really was out of place. All the worlds are beautiful, with only minor complaints about how level design was due to how Flow Motion interacted with it. A lot of areas were kind of broken because of how free and open Flow Motion is, just by nature. It was easy to get to chests and areas that didn't seem like you should be able to get there, but it's not too bad. Dream Eaters are the newest addition to this game, changing combat dramatically. Using Dream Eaters, you could increase your physical and magic damage dealt, your damage taken, various abilities that you normally have to modify by wearing items or unlocking other abilities like in games such as Kingdom Hearts 2. Of course, this game, much like Birth by Sleep, functions off of the command deck system. I'm not going to hark on this one too much because I have a whole video dedicated to my feelings on the command deck system linked here, but all in all, the command deck system is just broken. Balloonra breaks the game. It's hard for this game to be challenging. Rarely did I ever have to work hard to figure out how to beat a boss. Some of these bosses have unique designs visually, but almost all of them perform really poorly in execution. Nearly zero staggering mechanics, the bosses react a little bit too quickly and with too much might for you to do pretty much anything. Rarely does getting killed by a boss feel justified. The overall boss design is poor in this title. Adding something like a revenge value system to these bosses would help the problem and make them feel a little more like the bosses we face in Kingdom Hearts 2. I might do a video on revenge value in the future and boss design after getting my hands on 1.5, 2.5 in the future, so stay tuned for that. In conclusion, Dream Drop Distance is the little train that could. While extremely impressive running on the 3DS back in its original release, it functioned better in the hands of a console controller, but the gameplay itself just didn't adapt that well into a console release. Being put next to something like Kingdom Hearts 2, by comparison, Dream Drop Distance just looks like a really confused and lost puppy. I hope they take the right elements from this game that worked and do well with them in Kingdom Hearts 3, as, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3 has really big shoes to fill. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like it and share it around. If you disliked it, you know what to do. And if you have your own thoughts about Dream Drop Distance HD, I would love to hear about them in the comment section down below. To see more of my content, including playthroughs, lore videos, and more reviews, hit that subscribe button, and if you want notifications right when a video goes live, hit the bell next to the sub button. As always, see you next time.